Okay, that title is a little bit of clickbait. I don't hate Murakami. I'm not 18 years old anymore, so I'm not in love with his work anymore. However, I decided I'm going to rank all of the Murakami books, well, at least all the ones that are on this tier list, and I ended up reading books I wasn't even on this tier list because I forgot what was on this list. However, please note, this is my opinion only, and also the ranking is subjective to Murakami works. So it's not all books S to D, it's just the Murakami books S to D. Okay? I read 9 books, including ones that were like anthologies, for this video in a month. So, okay? I know what I'm saying. Again, my opinion and the ranking is subjective and also only Murakami books, not taking into account anything not written by him. Okay, let's get into it. Just want to get that out of the way before people despise me. We're going to go from left to right. So we're starting off with IQ 84, which was the last Murakami book I read. I finished it right before recording this. This is going to be all 3 books in one, by the way. The anthology, as it's listed here. Honestly, I found it quite raw. It's either a C or a B. We revise at the end, by the way. This is going in C for now because I'm like, it wasn't great. It was like there were some really good ideas, but I'm like, this took you 3 books to write, brother. 3 books. But yeah, it's like, it was interesting, but I felt like he wanted to write multiple books, but decided to squeeze them into one. Which I guess it is 3 books, but they could have been different books, if that makes sense. After Dark, I genuinely thought was quite good. I really enjoyed this. Like, some of the stuff, like, I didn't need the second storyline with the sister, but I guess that does also relate to the storyline with the main protagonist as well. So, yeah, it's going an A for now. I felt it was really good. I liked, kind of all the characters and all the people getting involved with our protagonist. The stuff with the sister I felt was a bit like, okay. It was very Murakami. It was very early Murakami, so. Colorless, I'm not going to say his name because I can never pronounce that. This is going to be a little bit biased. This is my favorite Murakami book. I feel like this one really straddles that line of reality and surreal that Murakami goes for. I think this does it the best, in my opinion, and it's pretty concise of a book. Again, really good for me. It's my favorite Murakami book, so it is a little bit biased. Killing Commendatore, the penultimate book I read of his. This is gonna go in B for now because I think this is a good book. Throughout this, I don't like how much Murakami sexualizes young girls. That's just me. So I'm gonna put it in B. I thought it was a good book. Like, he always ruins his books for me by over sexualizing young girls, in my opinion. So I'm gonna put it in B for now. It could sneak into A though. Dance, 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 I think is the weakest of the Rat trilogy with 4 books. Is it a D? D is a bad book. I don't think it's a bad book. I think it's just the weakest of that trilogy. I don't think it's great. I think it was quite weak compared to the other ones. Kafka on the Shore, that's everyone's oh yeah, you read Murakami, read Kafka on the Shore. I liked Kafka on the Shore. This one, I did read this a long time ago though. Must have been nearly 5 years ago I read this book, probably longer. I remember it being quite good. The incest stuff was a bit yikes, but also this has been a long time since I've read this one. I'll put it as an A, just because I do remember it being very good and very enthralling, but also the incest. We will reassess. Norwegian Woods, when I was 18, I was like, this is peak fiction. This is the greatest book ever written. I love this damn book. Now that I'm not 18 anymore, I feel like it's fine. I feel it's better than Dance 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 for sure, and it's better than IQ 84. It's not as good as Killing Commendatory. I felt like Killing Commendatory was quite a really good book. The sexualizing the child was a bit much for me. Uh, Again, even here, the teenager, not a boy. I think they're adults here. I remember them being adults. Teenagers still, though. It's a bit rough for me. Yeah, I felt like Norwegian Woods, for me, I think the first video on this, or one of my first videos, I said this is my favorite book. It's not anymore. I don't even think it was my favorite book at the time of recording that video. I just couldn't think of anything else. But yeah, I feel like it was great when you were 18, but once you become an adult, you're like, oh, I guess. And I guess the character is meant to be, I think, 21. So yeah, when I'm 18, I relate to it, but now as an adult, I'm like, really? Wild Sheep Chase, I think, was the best of the Rat trilogy, which is 4 books. That's a high B. I don't know if I liked it more than Killing Commendatory. I think I did. I don't think I did. I felt this was the strongest of those books. I think the stuff with the Sheep Man was really good. I enjoyed that. I felt like again, it's kind of like Colorless, where it straddles that line of mysticism and real life. But I think it goes... yeah, it's the edge. It could be a low A. But also, I did enjoy Killing Commendatory more as a book. So, south of the something border, I liked this, I think. I quite liked this. I think that would go in an A for me. Maybe it's a high B. Maybe it's just better than Killing Commendatory. But we'll put it as a low A. I liked it. Again, I think we're seeing a pattern where I don't like where Murakami goes too far one way. Also, I don't think this one sexualizes children, teenagers, which is quite good for me. I prefer when they aren't sexualized. I think, again, this one I read quite a while ago. I read this about 3-4 years ago. I lived in London, so about 3 years ago, I think. So yeah, this one was quite good, I believe. Sputnik Sweetheart, I liked... Did I like it enough to be an A? I think I liked it more than Kafka. It's definitely up there. Sputnik Sweetheart I thought was quite good. I loved the relationship between the two female characters. The male lead, the male lead kind of put me off. The protagonist was like, you're a very off-putting man. Yeah, he put me off quite a lot, so maybe not. Wind/Pinball, again, I'm assessing both books together here. It wasn't as good as a Wild Sheep Chase, so I'll put it below. I just didn't enjoy it as much as a Wild Sheep Chase. I'm pretty sure Wind was his first book, and I think Pinball came shortly thereafter. So, like, this is, like, Murakami at his very earliest, which is, I think, a low B is a good score for that. Wind Up Bird Chronicles. I know everyone raves about Wind Up Bird Chronicles. Everyone's like, okay, this and Kafka on the Shore is everyone's like, you read Murakami, you better have read these 2 books. I'll be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of Wind Up Bird Chronicles. Again, he sexualizes a girl. It's a theme I'm seeing. As a Murakami book, it's a bit long. It insists on itself. Low A, maybe a high... Again, this is my personal opinion. I need to remember, this is my personal thoughts. I think I liked Sputnik more. I'd put that there. And Hard Boiled Egg. Maybe it's the way I consume this book. I tried to read this book as fast as possible because I need to get this video made. I didn't super enjoy it. It had some really interesting, like, ideas. This is a case where I like that he was basically fitting 2 books into one. Better than... I liked it more than Dance Dance Dance. I liked it more than IQ 84. Norwegian Woods, I think, is a weird one. I have a weird relationship with that, so that might be bumped up. It's better than Wind/Pinball, in my opinion. Is it better than a Wild Sheep Chase? I don't think it is. I think it's a low B. I think I would probably rearrange some of these a little bit. I would maybe I'm going to put this in a low B just because I don't really remember this book, and that might be actually saying something that I don't actually remember the book very well. Whereas, like, I read Kafka and Colorless way earlier than I read this, and I remember those books far better. Even Wind Up Bird Chronicle, I remember better, and Norwegian Wood, I remember better. Norwegian Wood is also because I've seen the movie a couple times. You know what? The one book on here which I would have put as an S as well was The Elephant Vanishes, which is a collection of short stories. I really like Murakami when he's like in short bursts. When it's something as long as IQ84 or Wind Up Bird Chronicles, it gets a bit much. Even Kafka gets a bit much. Killing Commander Torre, it was long, but I quite liked it. I'm going to put Killing Commander Torre above Kafka on the Shore. For me personally, I liked this. I didn't like... It's like I want to bump almost all of them down for the way he just talks about young girls. It's annoying. Like even this, like the incest. I'm like, what the hell? God. Yeah, if The Elephant Vanishes was on this list, I would have put it on an S. I just didn't add anything to this list. Does anything go in the D tier? I think Dance 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 goes into D tier. I just didn't like that. I don't... it felt like so tacked on to a Wild Sheep Chase. I feel like Wild Sheep Chase left that one thread open, but it made sense to leave that thread open, and everything else wrapped up really well. And that one thread being left open was like, oh, okay, I'm okay with that, because Murakami does oftentimes leave his books very open at the end. So yeah, I think I'm happy with it being like this. I don't think... Maybe Norwegian Woods goes up. But I think Norwegian Wood even. I have such a... It's my relationship with this book which makes me want to put it up. Because when I was 18, I was like, this is the shit. Greatest book ever written. No, I think this is fine. This I might move down. I just don't remember this book very well, and that might be saying something, because like I said, I read Kafka and I read Colorless way before I read this book, and I still remember them better. Hard-boiled egg. I think that's fine. I did like Sputnik Sweetheart, I think more than I enjoyed Wind Up Bird Chronicles. Wild Sheep Chase was good, but also like Wild Sheep Chase... Actually, Wild Sheep Chase doesn't super heavily rely on Win/Pinball, but it's like if you've read Win/Pinball, Wild Sheep Chase is a lot better. Dance Dance Dance, I think even having read the 3 previously, I was like... I didn't need to read this book. This was like the one I was like, ugh. I really had to these two, I had to force myself through them. IQ84, I think, had some really great ideas. I was just like, this is so long. Why is this so long? Why are you taking this long to tell me this? With some characters which I thought weren't super engaging. Like the female lead, I think, in this wasn't super engaging. I think she falls into Murakami's very women, am I right? type thing he does. Like After Dark, the female protagonist is great, you know. She's learning about herself, she takes charge at points, she learns about people, she's great. Killing Commander Torre, I don't really... like, the wife isn't super present in there, but also I do feel like the ending's a bit iffy. Kafka on the Shore, I think, is a really great surreal book. I love the character of Johnny Walker. The incest thing, you know, I would probably put it in a B, but I'll let that slide. Oh god, that feels so weird. Sputnik Sweetheart, I feel like I would have liked if this was expanded on more. It's one of the ones I'm like, should be longer. Wind Up Bird Chronicles, it was too long. It insisted on itself. Wild Sheep Chase was the best of that trilogy of 4 books. Hard-boiled egg was fine. I felt like Maybe either could have been longer, or I liked the part where you're in his mind more than the other sci-fi type part. If that makes sense. Like the post-apocalyptic setting, kind of. Win/Pinball is like, yeah, okay, yeah, it's a first novel. Makes sense. I just don't goddamn remember this book. I know his wife leaves him or something at the end. Maybe I think this is going to go in D because I don't remember it very well, just because, like, it was forgettable, I suppose. Norwegian Wood is like, oh shit, yeah, I'm 18, this is edgy. That's my opinion on this book. I loved it. Believe me, when I was 18 and I read this, I was like, this is the shit. I loved it. If I made this video 9-10 years ago, would have been great. IQ84 just was long, man. It insisted on itself. Also, recency, because it's the one I've most recently read, so maybe I'm being more harsh on it. Dance, I genuinely was like, this felt tacked on to what was a really nice ending in A Wild Sheep Chase. So that was my Murakami tier list. I wonder if you guys agree with me. If you're a Murakami lover, please remember, this is my opinion, okay? Don't come for me. And also, based on Murakami books, I didn't talk about Colorless very much because I just really like that book. I felt like it straddles the line of like the surreal and the realistic. Obviously, there are some problematic things in there as well, but I think those problematic things are actually related to the story, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't sexualize a teenager in that. I hope. Too much? Well, actually, he might, actually. Shit. Okay. No, I think he does it less than the other ones. But let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on the Murakami books, how you rate them. Do you like Murakami as a writer? I'll be honest, I think at 18 years old, I loved him. Now I'm like, I hate myself for making myself read all of these books, but here we are. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below. I'll maybe have all these books in the description to bookshop.org, but it's a lot of books. We'll see. Check the description just in case. And yeah, I hope you liked the video. Remember to like, subscribe, share the video with a friend or family member. Let me know what other tier list I should be making. Please don't make me read 10 plus books again for a tier list. Bye!